Hi, welcome back to my channel. So today's video I'm going to be talking about a book, and the book is Love Your Lady Landscape by Lisa Lister. For a start, I absolutely have loved this book. Just coming back to it and working through some of the exercises that she talks about in here, and it's been really good. So I picked this book up a while ago when I was in Glastonbury. I have been really interested in books to do with the topic and things that she discusses in this book. I've kind of done a lot of research into it, and I'm continuing to do a lot of research and reading other material similar to it. I've been reading Moon Time, which has been really good for learning about sort of your menstrual cycle and things like that, which this one does talk about, but it talks about things on a lot more sort of ways as well. That Moon Time is different in a sense with. I've also read Witch by Lisa Lister as well, which is the same author as this one. I have read that one as well, and I absolutely loved that one, so I did want to pick this one up. So when I saw it in Glastonbury, I picked it up straight away just because I wanted it right there and then I've pretty much kind of been reading it on and off with other books because I do read quite a lot at the same time, so sometimes it does take me a while to get through things. And when I was reading this one, I really wanted to make sure that I was really present with reading it, and it wasn't just sort of little snippets. I wanted to actually have a nice sit down and read, so it has taken me a bit to read the whole thing, but it isn't one that you're going to read really fast, because there is sort of exercises and things to do in the book that sort of helps you on your journey with this, because it is sort of taking you through a journey of like feminine wisdom and sort of really accessing that. So the way she talks in this book is really nice. It's really personal. Like, she really does go into her personal life quite a lot and talk about things that she's experienced. There's other people's stories in here as well when she talks about other things as well, so it is a really sort of raw personal journey that she's bringing you on with her as well, if that makes sense, because everything she's sort of been through and found, she's talking about in here. So she really explains and lets you sort of really explore sort of what she's been through, as well as experiencing things for yourself, if that makes sense. But basically it's really about sort of helping to get rid of any sort of guilt and shame that you've been made to feel about yourself, which generally a lot of the time we've been taught to feel sort of guilty for feeling the ways that we do because of our body, feeling shameful of the way our body looks and is, and everything like that. So it's all about sort of breaking through that. She's always talking about the rhythms and the cycles of your cycle, really, and what it's all to do with, what it's connected to. So she's really good at sort of explaining everything with that, and it's really nice and easy to sort of take in and understand. Generally sort of how she starts off with is basically kind of getting you to really sort of question things. So what sort of you've been through, how you feel about your body, and sort of trying to smash through that a little bit more. And then she goes through explaining things a little bit more, so explaining the idea of she power, and the power sort of within your womb space, what is really there, what it's really about, and really sort of going through exercises to really help sort of release sort of past traumas and things like that that have happened as well with your with how you view your body and how that's affected you, type of thing. And then she goes through actually teaching about your lady landscape, so going through your cycles, like talking about each phase and what it's to do with, how you are, what it represents, and things like that, which is really good because she kind of explains everything, so like why you'd feel certain ways to do with your cycle, so you don't feel like you are crazy, because it's a normal thing, and you're not expected to work and live the same way all the time throughout your cycle, because your body is trying to tell you different things and get you to experience different things. which she goes through quite a lot as well, which is really good. She talks about the like caring for down there as well, and just really explains sort of looking after yourself, what's normal, what things are, and goes through it as well. So it's really nice just to learn about it as well, because sometimes there's things that you don't know. I mean, I've learned a fair bit of sort of what's in here as well. I've kind of come across bits of things that is discussed in here from reading other material, because I am very interested in this sort of thing at the minute. You might be able to tell from some of the videos that I've posted recently on my channel. So it is things that I'm really sort of working through. So I have really enjoyed using this book, and I will continue to be using this book because there's so much in here. I mean, there's so many sort of exercise and things that she does as well. So she does like lots of sort of womb release, womb cleansing sort of rituals and things. I mean, I've turned over so many pages in here because there's so much that I want to come back to and doing. I mean, she's talking about setting up sacred space and altars, and I've really been called to do that, setting up different altars and things, and working with different energies and things, and I have been doing a lot more since reading this book. Yeah, she's got ones for womb love, so actually connecting to your womb and really feeling that. She's got like mantras and things like that, little rituals and stuff. She has other people's stories in here as well, so it's not just her experiences. She does have other people's experiences of things, which some of them can be kind of emotional depending what you've been through as well. But it's really interesting to sort of hear other people's sort of experiences as well. She goes through explaining the different cycles and what you are. So you like the cycles of a woman there, and the moon cycle and how that connects to your period and the relation of that. And then she goes through cycle phases and explains all of that as well, which is quite interesting because not everybody knows about this. Not everyone knows how your cycle fits together, which I've had conversations with people and I've been really shocked because I've had conversations with people who've been older than me, and I've been really shocked with how much they didn't really know about the cycle. So it's really good to kind of read through and really understand what each phase of your cycle is and what it means to you, as in what you'd be going through at that sort of time. She goes through like the superpowers as well that you have at that time, so you'll be more sort of likely to feel certain ways during like when you're ovulating to when you're actually menstruating. So it's really good. It's just jam packed with so much stuff. Yeah, I mean, it is just amazing with what she talks about. I mean, she goes through as well, she does talk about sort of what's normal and sort of changes and things like that. She talks about sort of problems where things go wrong with the womb and everything. So like she talks about fibroids, endometriosis, and like polycystic ovaries and different types of cancers and things like that, which is really good that she's spoken about that, because that's something that you don't always get told about. It's something that people also don't really like to talk about sometimes, I found, because they feel uncomfortable to talk about it, especially when it comes to cancers and things like that, which I can understand in a way. But if you don't talk about it, then you don't really know what's normal and what isn't, and you're less likely to ever find out or notice anything's different or wrong. But she does talk about there's one story in here by someone, I can't remember who it was, but they had some sort of cancer, but I can't remember what it was. But she discusses like her entire sort of ritual with letting go of her womb and what it was like, which is a really sort of powerful story in that, and it's quite upsetting as well, but it's really good that that's in here. I really like that. And she's got different things. So she's got massages, boom and belly massage, which is really good, just for connecting with your body as well. She's got like boom pulsing, and lots of different sort of rituals and things to connect with everything as well, which is just really good. She talks about connecting with like your root chakra and your sacral chakra as well, and sort of why you'd connect with them, really, and what that sort of helps with working with your womb space. It all just really adds up and connects, because I never really thought about working with the chakras, and I never really thought, because I knew you'd probably want to work with the sacral chakra, but I never really understood the root chakra, really. And I do feel now, reading about it, that I have been sort of subconsciously sort of getting things that will help with the root chakra, but I've never really understood why I felt I needed that, if that makes sense. Just the things that come in here are really, really good. But yeah, I mean, she talks about using like yoni eggs as well, and yoni massage as well, which is quite interesting, because I don't really know that much about them, so it's quite interesting to sort of find out other techniques and things that you can do. She's got recipes in here as well, for different things that you can use when you're on your period to really make you feel better, and things like that she uses, and everything like that. So it is a really, really amazing book, and it's just a really sort of moving book to really sort of push you and really sort of make you question things and really want to change things, I feel, because I really want to change things. I really want to I want everybody to read this book, because it's just amazing, with what it sort of opens up for you. So if you haven't read this, then I would highly recommend reading it, because it is well worth reading, to understand yourself a little bit more, understand your cycle, and really sort of work with that, because like so many people have just become so disconnected from it. Even myself, you know, up until like this last year, I just felt so disconnected from it, from being on like the pill for so many years. I'd never really looked at or paid attention to anything. It was just like, I'm taking the pill, I'm stopping now, and I'm bleeding, and I'm taking the pill again. Like, I didn't really connect with anything. It was just an annoying thing that I was bleeding. I never saw anything important to it. Obviously, because I was on the pill, it changed everything, so I wasn't necessarily going through these cycles and these phases. Sorry, just at one point I would be bleeding. So coming off the pill really has changed things, because I have noticed more with my cycle, as it sort of balanced out a lot more, because sorry, it did take a bit to sort of balance itself out a little bit since coming off the pill, but it has sort of generally sort of found a flow. It has gone a little bit off every now and again, but I feel like that's just life, you know. Things do change with your cycle. It isn't necessarily going to stay the same all the time, and generally have found whenever it has changed, it's generally changed for a reason, which has been quite cool and quite interesting when it has. But I would highly recommend sort of exploring your cycle if you haven't already, and having a look into this book. And I'm definitely going to be looking out for more by Lisa Lister. I do want to read Code Red, because I have heard people talking about that one as well, and I do really, really want to read it, because I think my friend's got that one. I think she has it, or she was wanting to get it anyway, and I really, really want that one as well. So once I've read some of my other books that I've got piled up on my reading list, I'll be getting that one. But yeah, so I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you have already read Love Your Lady Landscape, I'd really be interested in seeing what you felt, what your opinions of it were, and how you found it and everything. So just leave comments in the comment section and I'll get back to you. It'd be really interesting to know what your opinions are of everything as well, and if there was anything you particularly liked about the book, if you have read it as well, But yeah, hopefully I'll see you in another video shortly. So thank you for watching. If you did like this video, then you can give it a thumbs up, and if you were wanting to follow more videos that I'll be posting, then click the subscribe button if you're new. If you have already subscribed, then thank you. But anyway, that's all. So I'll see you in another video soon, hopefully, and bye bye.